bad, weren't they, today, Craig?
Oh, they were terrible. I mean, they got taken apart, as Stevie said. I mean, actually, Brighton might have an upgrade on Potter. Not that, I mean, Potter's not the flavour of the month at the moment, but De Zerbi, the football they're playing, is a continuation and an improvement from Potter with some better finishing up front, a more cutting edge. Caicedo and McAllister in the middle of the park. I mean, Brighton were tremendous, but Liverpool, I never thought they would lose their mojo as much as this. It's been abysmal.
You know, going into halftime, right? The storyline for Liverpool would have been, hey, look, at least it's 0-0, right? We got outplayed, but we're going to go into halftime. It's 0-0. Here we go. We're going to gather ourselves. We're going to regroup. And there's going to be a better version of Liverpool in the second half. And they were worse. And that part to me is the thing that is so difficult and hard to believe, because it's hard to reconcile what we have seen from Liverpool in the past, in the recent past, and what we're seeing now, and how steep the drop-off had. When you look at this team and how disorganized they are, how all over the place, there's no team defending. There's no pressure on the ball. There's no 1v1 defending. They made Alexis McAllister, who has been an excellent player, and we saw that display in the World Cup, they made him look like he was the best central midfielder in the history of mankind. He's knocking the ball around like Liverpool wasn't even there, but you can say that about many players in Brighton. That was an embarrassing performance from Liverpool perspective.
I didn't know we had player ratings from you, Stevie. I'm excited to see these.
Oh, Pete was on me 2 seconds after the game finished.
This is then your marks out of 10. Kanate gets an 8.
He was the only player on the team that didn't embarrass himself. Without him, it would have been 6 or 7. Kanate.
I'm drawn to Thiago 1.
What?
Well, he got on the bus from the hotel to the stadium. Yeah. I mean, this game showed all the things that, unfortunately for him, that he can't do. And he can't defend. And he was absolutely invisible. Fabinho and Henderson, the effort's there, but again, they were pretty much invisible. I mean,
everybody.
The engine room was just invisible, let's be honest. Yeah. And of course, the front three can't really do much. They fall back in to try and help, but without the ball, they can't do much. And Salah's not going to do anything without the ball. Gakpo's playing out of position, and the Ox is filling in. So now you're relying on the back four. My goodness.
So the problem is not Darwin Núñez then.
I mean, even Alisson. Even Alisson isn't making a save now.
Right.
You know, and you can't believe he can't take any blame for any of this. But he's not making a save either that might help. They're just everything's going wrong. It really is a shambles. And honestly, it has to change the way they play. The way they want to play, the way they have played, when you're physically and mentally in that place, you can do that. High pressure, 100 miles an hour, putting people under pressure, scoring goals, creating chances, not letting teams out. But when you're not mentally there and you're not physically there, you can't do it. And you're far too open. And you don't have players that can defend properly. So you can't play that way. You have to get a base, get back to not giving anything away, and then build from there. You can't just turn up every week now and just be open and hope that all of a sudden you're going to start playing the way you did 9 months ago.
Can you see them making that change, Craig, to make a kind of instant turnaround to their form?
No, I can't. It's been going on now since the start of the season. Thought the World Cup break might have helped, but it hasn't. So no, I can't, Dan. Every facet of the team, and we talked about Thiago the other week, when in a team that's not dominating and not playing well, he's just a luxury. So I can't see them turning this around quickly. I can't.
Who's never played the game now, eh, Nadem?
You're good. No, in all seriousness, when I went to that game, the game against Wolverhampton in the Cup, I saw the names on the team sheet and I believed there was going to be a really good performance. But as I watched, it just wasn't there. And I think it's the case, as the guys have been saying, especially Stevie, like, what if the mental side of football isn't there? The performances And when you look at them, there's an element of doubt in the way that they play. All of a sudden, the things they've done before, they don't see it in the same manner. They don't see the same passes. They're not making the same runs. They don't have the same confidence in the people around them. And before you know it, a team that looks as good as it can do on paper, all of a sudden has nothing, doesn't have the same impact. And the other sides, they come up and play against you. Like this Brighton side, they've got all the confidence in the world. They believe in themselves, believe in each other, believe in the strategy. They believe they can win the game at home. So now you take it to Liverpool. And I'm just astonished, as Stevie was saying, like when you look at those stats, Liverpool didn't have as much possession. They didn't have as many shots. They didn't have as many shots on target. Like they were losing challenges. They were losing duels, battles everywhere. Like that's not the Liverpool that we know, yet still a lot of the faces on the field are very familiar. So it just goes to show that sort of you can be physically there, but if you're not fully mentally there in terms of your confidence, the game of football can be very, very tough. And as the guys have said, I think this was probably Liverpool's worst day under Jurgen Klopp.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.